gents, and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. Tonight we are having a double IPA from a brewery that I have drunk plenty of beer from, some quite recently, some not quite so recently, and I've yet to find a chink in the armour. It's Cloudwater, and the DIPA in question is this one. It almost sounds like motor oil in as much as it's described as AW18. Brewed all season double IPA. It's this one. Now, it's a new venture in terms of packaging. Well, it is to me anyway. For Cloudwater, it's ever so slightly artsy. You know, you've got that kind of, I don't know, watercolour-ish type affair going on. It's nice shades of green. It suggests it's going to be sort of light green, fresh in flavour. The only thing I'm going to say is the Cloudwater logo is a little bit lost. But that's neither here nor there. Another change is the way they describe the beers. Let me read what it says. It says Cloudwater Brew Co. Autumn Winter. So this suggests it's a particular season. Specialising in modern seasonal beer. And the artist in question, it says here, is Niziket Sinanovska. Hope I've said that right. Apologies if I haven't. Anyway, it says double IPA is a style close to our hearts and one we've worked hard to continually refine. This all-season recipe is a result of 2 years' experience in developing dippers that are deliciously drinkable at a higher ABV, delivering clean and precise flavours. Thick body and sweetness provide the platform to showcase huge tropical and citrus hop notes. And that there, it says it all really, doesn't it? Or does it? And then it goes on to say aromas and flavours, big mango and stone fruit, with a light sweet malt presentation. Full-bodied, smooth and juicy is the description of the body, and the aftertaste is described as being lingering fruit juice sweetness with no bitterness. And I say this is a departure because previously Cloudwater told you what was in the beer. They didn't really kind of give you an impression of what it's going to taste like. And they are now not telling you what hops, what malts are contained within. And I think that's a bit of a shame because the beer geeks amongst us, me included, I guess we quite like to know what's in there. I don't know if it mentions it on their website or not as to what hops, what malts are going into each beer now. And the reason I say it's a shame is because not everyone perceives taste in the same way. So whereas I might get the mango in this, someone might not. Some people would say, oh, light and sweet malt presentation. Well, that's kind of one person's light sweet malt presentation as opposed to another's that might be really high and heavy hitting in the malts. Just personal taste at the end of the day, I guess, for how it's described. If you know what's in there, maybe the rough quantities. Obviously with ingredients, they're listed first as the largest, going down to the lesser. Might have given you a bit more of a hint as to the preference. There's other companies out there that give you little charts to indicate the bitterness versus the sweetness and the hop content, or the hop level, should I say. It's all good, but like I say, it's just one, maybe what a small group of people have suggested this is what it tastes like. Anyway, it's 8.5%. As I've suggested at the beginning, it's full 40ml can. And the important bit is not what it looks like on the outside and what the description says, it's what it tastes like. So, let's crack it open and pour. Now, upon opening, there was a big fruity hit. And we've got a nice head. We've got haze. We've got big pineapple colours going on. We've got a pretty decent head. So you've got a couple of fingers worth there. Just look at that colour. It's hazy. It looks thick and juicy. It looks like fruit juice. Looks good, doesn't it? Let's see what it smells like. Yeah. Now, it's very fruity, very rich, and it smells very similar to another beer that I've had from a brewery that is not Cloudwater. So I don't want to let that colour my judgment as to what it's going to taste like. Now, just for the record, that beer did taste absolutely incredible. So I have high expectations. Again, I shouldn't let that cloud my judgment. I'm hoping that this is as good, but let's see. Yeah, I've got the tropical flavours. I've got the mango. I get pineapple. I get more pineapple than I do mango, which is quite interesting. I'm getting some peach. I'm getting lemon. There's a lot going on. I like it. And it's not bitter in any way, shape or form, which is quite surprising because most dippers from Cloudwater that I've had have always had a real bitter edge, sort of grapefruit bitterness, and there's none of that here. This is much sweeter, much smoother than previous Cloudwater dippers, and I think this represents a very, very good dipper. I'm genuinely quite impressed with this. It's, like I say, smooth. It's sweet. There's caramel malts towards the end. And like I say, no bitterness at the end at all. And whilst I might prefer an ingredients list, I can't criticise the description because it is exactly what it says. There is mango with stone fruit. Granted, I'm getting pineapple as well. It's full-bodied, smooth and juicy. It's not overly thick. And there is that lingering fruit juice sweetness at the end with no bitterness whatsoever to speak of. I like that. Yeah, I do. I like that a lot. More so than other Cloudwater dippers. I mean, like there's V3, which was very tasty but quite bitter. You got V3.1. That was also in the vein of V3, with just a little bit more going on. But this is a bit of a departure. This is much nicer. This is more balanced and smooth. This is, so far, the best Cloudwater dipper of a, we'll call it a typical dipper, not your collaboration brews like and getting caught in the rain. That was quite a different example. This is more. This is a much nicer than V3 and 3.1. So much so that, yeah, I'd absolutely happily buy this again. You know, AW18 brewed all season dipper. In terms of a score, anything less than a 4 would be rude. Anything, is it worth as much as a 4.5? Absolutely. I think it's worth more than that though. It's like I say, you've got the sweetness, you've got malt, you've got a little bit of hop. It's not overly hoppy. But what I'm particularly impressed with here is the balance and the smoothness. And for me, it's got to be a 4.75 on the old Untapped rating. I like this a lot. It's up there with the beer that I thought it smelled like, very much so. And on that glorious note, I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of this beer and try and hunt some more down before it disappears, because it is very, very tasty indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen of Cloudwater, thank you very much for AW18 All Season Double IPA. It's very nice. And for everyone watching, this has been the AW18 All Season Double IPA from Cloudwater. I've been Nick. Thank you very much for your likes and subscriptions, and I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye.